One of Scottish Disability Sport's goals is to support the development of a sporting pathway for young people with a physical, sensory or learning disability. There are 5 main processes that allow SDS to achieve this goal, and this short video outlines these for you. 1. Branches: local authority, clubs, national governing bodies. SDS works with local authorities, clubs and national governing bodies to provide many of the opportunities for young people with a disability. These include festivals and come and try sessions, which are an opportunity for young people with a disability to experience different sports in a fun, structured and non-competitive environment. Competitive opportunities: providing a player pathway which offers the opportunity to take part in different sports from participation through to performance level. Club development, where we work with local authority sports development officers and our regional managers in conjunction with local mainstream clubs to provide education and training to coaches and encourage clubs to adopt an inclusive approach. Local branches have a key role to play in developing and creating sport and physical recreation opportunities for people with disabilities and support local athletes in their efforts to achieve excellence. They also work in partnership with various key stakeholders, for example local authorities and local clubs, to develop sport. 2. The Active Schools Inclusion Network. SDS has formed a strong partnership with the Active Schools Network and regularly delivers disability inclusion training to the Active Schools coordinators, their coaches and volunteers.
Active Schools is a network of people, managers and coordinators who work across all the primary, secondary and special schools across Scotland. It's an investment of £13 million from Sport Scotland in collaboration with our 32 local authorities to provide opportunities for sport and physical activity for children and young people. Through the Active Schools Inclusion Network, we provide training for teachers, coaches, leaders and volunteers to ensure that they provide a quality opportunity for young people with disability that's fun and helps them to lead a healthier and active life.
I don't think you need a huge knowledge of disability sport to be able to find the children. All you have to be able to do is can identify that that child has a disability and tie in with your local branch. If you don't have a local branch or you can't find someone in a local branch, you phone the SDS office, someone will always point you in the right direction. We've got people in a lot of key positions across the country that can help. It's a matter of finding the right person in your area and picking up the phone. If you're not sure, you pick up the phone, you get a bit of help, you get a bit of guidance.
There is a lot more enthusiasm for disability sport, particularly in my area in Glasgow, and that comes down to the number of people involved and the passion that the local providers have, from the clubs to the organisations such as Active Schools and Glasgow Life Sports Equalities team, who are really pushing the activities. And from a coach's background working in disability sport, we see all the time new faces coming to clubs, so hopefully more kids will get the opportunity to take part in a number of activities and hopefully be identified in a particular sport that they can progress in. From there, progress through the pathways from clubs to regional programmes and then international programmes, and hopefully one day represent the country at Paralympic level.
Sport and physical activity is really important for young children with a disability. If you want more information about Active Schools, contact your head teacher and they'll give you information about your Active School coordinator.
This strong partnership is key if SDS is to engage with young people with a disability and achieve its goal of supporting their development through sport. The Active Schools coordinators have access to young people with a disability within mainstream schools and can signpost them to opportunities within disability sport. 3. SDS Summer Sports Camp. SDS annually runs a residential summer sports camp at the National Training Centre at Inverclyde. The aim of the camp is to introduce participants to a variety of sports over a 3-day period. The camp is predominantly for young people aged 10 to 18 years of age with a physical disability or sensory impairment, and provides fun opportunities to try sports such as archery, athletics, basketball, boccia, bowls, football, racket sports and shinty. All sessions are led by qualified coaches involved in the SDS sporting programme.
Our ethos within SDS has always been to allow children and young people the opportunity to have that multi-sport environment first, to try a number of different sports, to see first of all what suits them as a sport and what they get the most enjoyment out of. We then looked at, as they start to develop within those sports, to try and signpost them into something more specific and somewhere that there's a pathway for them, somewhere where their classification as an athlete might fit in years to come. So really it's trying to put all that together, and the summer camp traditionally has been the starting point for that process.
My disability, I don't really notice it. Having half an arm doesn't affect my swimming ability at all. This is my third SDS camp. I really enjoy interacting with all the younger ones as well as my peers. It just fills them with confidence knowing that people that have had success in sport can come to these things and be around them, and then it'll encourage them to be where we've gotten to in our sports.
The disability I have is called cerebral palsy. I don't look at it as a disability. There's a lot of things I can do with my right side, and it's not about what I can't do, it's about what I can do. I found out table tennis and sport here, and I've just developed in that, and Terry was lucky enough to spot me, and then he spoke to me about it and then asked me if I could come along and join Drumchapel Table Tennis Club. Table tennis gives me that sense of belief, sense of satisfaction that I know that if I train hard enough, then the results will come for me. And luckily enough, it's a sport that I really like, and that's kind of driven me on to bigger and better things, and I hope that does the same in the future.
4. Education and training. SDS acknowledges that in order to engage young people in disabled sport, the Active Schools coordinators, teachers, volunteers and coaches must be supported and trained. SDS provides this training through a national rollout of disability inclusion training provided free to every Scottish local authority. SDS works with governing bodies of sport to support their efforts to make sport-specific coaching courses more inclusive. One of our recent success stories is badminton, where disability badminton forms part of UKCC.
Becoming a PE teacher, there is children with disabilities, so you need to you don't choose who you teach, so you need to be able to adapt your lessons so that everybody's included. When I was doing my postgrad, we did a workshop on inclusion. My opinion was it wasn't enough, to be honest. In terms of being in the job, I've actually worked with Scottish Disability Sport. I've been on some courses which was really good. We were doing things where we got to actually be either in a wheelchair or our vision was impaired, so it's kind of putting you in the situation that the children would face each day if they've got an impairment. Really good course to go on, but just looking to do more, to be honest.
An inclusive PE session would just mean that everybody was actually actively involved in whatever you were teaching. I've just finished a basketball lesson where the children ranged in ability from someone who's sitting higher physical education to someone who's totally blind, and we played quite a successful game, I think, with everybody included.
5. The Regional Manager Network. Increased funding from Sport Scotland has enabled workforce development to take place within SDS on a grand scale. Recently appointed regional staff support local development staff, volunteers and branches to accelerate disability sports development across Scotland.
I'm delighted at this stage that we've got 7 regional staff who are out there working with local authorities, identifying talent, working with all the national governing bodies, local authorities and all the clubs within the area, trying to source athletes who want to participate in the sports that we offer within Scottish Disability Sport.
And the regional structure, the impact that that's had on disability sport has been the collaborative working with the local authorities and Active Schools teams, not just within the coordinators and development officers themselves, but the senior managers within them. We're able to speak to them and sort of relay from a Scottish Disability Sport perspective down to their teams of what we're looking to do. We've got a big talent identification push on children with physical disabilities and sensory impairment, and they're the ones that are working with them on a day-to-day basis. The other big thing is working with the governing bodies, the actual mainstream governing bodies for specific sports. If any athlete with a disability needs to progress, they will need to access a mainstream club at some point. We can work with them clubs to upskill their coaches, to provide resources for those with a disability. So that's been the big factor in the regional structure for me, without a doubt.
We're constantly trying to improve the sporting pathways, and we do that in a number of ways. Particularly, we're working with the mainstream governing bodies of sport, where appropriate, trying to upskill our coaches, trying to secure funds to get our athletes to bigger and better competitions, more regular training, the full package really. And the more that we can do to support those structures, the more robust the pathway will become.
SDS is committed to encouraging more children, athletes and players with a disability to access sport and thereafter realise their full potential. If you would like to find out more about SDS and the services we offer, please contact us directly for more information.